Our top story tonight, a derelict ship found floating 10 miles off the Los Angeles coast earlier this morning was towed into the port of Los Angeles a few hours ago. The ship was spotted around midnight by fishermen who contacted the Coast Guard after their attempts to hail the ship proved futile. Coast Guard officials are releasing very little information right now, but have identified the vessel as the Elizabeth Dane. No word as of yet as to the whereabouts of the crew, though the Coast Guard are asking any ships that had contact with the Elizabeth Dane to assist them in their search. We'll have more on this story as it breaks. In other news, an apparent third victim of the Southland slasher has prompted the closing of the Santa Monica Pier, where the body was found earlier tonight. Investigators say the scene closely mirrors those of slayings in Glendale and Long Beach. In both cases, the bodies of the victims were described as torn apart, though details are being withheld from the public at this time. Police urge anyone with information relating to this case to contact them. In other news, an apparent third victim of the Southland slasher has prompted the closing of the Santa Monica Pier, where the body was found earlier tonight. Investigators say the scene closely mirrors those of slayings in Glendale and Long Beach. In both cases, the bodies of the victims were described as ripped, torn, bloody entrails smeared upon the walls, splatter on broken windows, feet in weird places. Murder, murder, murder. Actor Ash Rivers is lucky to be alive after his car crashed into the gate at Parasite Studios earlier tonight. Witnesses say that they were shocked when the Negative Zero star emerged unscathed and apparently unfazed by his high-speed accident. Rivers' agent released a statement stating that Rivers' crash was due to a mechanical problem and that the studio is not pursuing legal action against Rivers for the trademark gate's destruction. Miraculously, this is the second crash Rivers has escaped unharmed in the last year. A massive explosion rocked Santa Monica tonight, sending several fireballs into the sky and prompting a lockdown of the warehouse district where the explosions took place. Early reports suggest that the warehouse destroyed in the explosion was being used in a weapons smuggling operation, and that the source of the detonation possibly came from a military-grade explosive being stored at the site. Authorities say it is still too early to speculate on whether there is some terrorist connection to these events, though they have not ruled out the possibility. Stay tuned to Channel 3 for further updates. A massive explosion rocked Santa Monica tonight, sending several fireballs into the sky and prompting a lockdown of the warehouse district where the explosion took place. Early reports suggest that the warehouse destroyed in the explosion was being used in a weapons smuggling operation and that the source of the detonation possibly came from you. Stay tuned to Channel 3 for further updates. An update on the Elizabeth Dane. The ghost ship was towed into county waters off the port of L.A., where police are searching for evidence of the crew and whether the ship was being used in drug or terrorist-related smuggling. Coast Guard search parties are still patrolling the area where the Dane was first spotted, though the fate of the crew is still unknown. A recent outbreak of several highly contagious diseases in downtown Los Angeles has CDC officials concerned Los Angeles may be a hot zone for a deadly new type of communicable virus. Local hospitals started seeing a dramatic increase in the amount of patients with severe respiratory illness, and many doctors say they may be ill-equipped to handle the surging number of new cases. The Center for Disease Control urges people in the downtown area to exercise caution and to seek medical treatment immediately if they exhibit symptoms that include fever, hacking cough, nausea, rashes or sores, painful discharges, or sudden sustained bleeding. Police are now confirming that they suspect foul play in the disappearance of the Elizabeth Dane's crew. There is evidence that suggests the crew or several members of the crew were slain, though no names are being released at the moment. One piece in the Elizabeth Dane's cargo was revealed as the Enkarn sarcophagus. Discovered at a dig in Turkey, the sarcophagus was on its way to the Los Angeles Museum of Natural History for a detailed analysis and exhibition. Authorities are expected to release the sarcophagus to the museum in the next few days. Tragedy struck tonight for police investigating the Elizabeth Dane. Several officers were killed when a gas pipe ruptured and caused an explosion in the ship's engineering room, where the officers were conducting their search for the clues to the Dane's crew. Several officers attempting to rescue were killed in the ensuing fire. Memorial services for the fallen officers will be held Friday. The Elizabeth Dane's main cargo was revealed as the Enkarn sarcophagus. Discovered at a dig in Turkey, the sarcophagus was on its way to the Los Angeles Museum of Natural History for a detailed analysis and exhibition. Authorities are expected to release the sarcophagus to the museum in the next few days. Firefighters are trying to contain a flash fire in the Hollywood Hills this morning. Smoke and debris from a house fire alerted residents late this evening. The fire had already spread rapidly by the time firefighters arrived due to brush and wind conditions. Fire officials expect the blaze to be extinguished within the next few hours, but are advising local homeowners in the area to evacuate. The Encarn sarcophagus, delivered to the Los Angeles Museum of Natural History this morning, was stolen just hours before experts could examine its contents. Authorities are baffled by its theft, as the museum employs several sophisticated security measures that have foiled previous robbery attempts. Police speculate professional art and antiquity thieves are behind the sarcophagus's disappearance. More on this story as it breaks. The Encarn sarcophagus, delivered to the Los Angeles Museum of Natural History this morning, was stolen just hours before experts could examine its contents. Several security guards were killed during the robbery attempt, making this the bloodiest robbery in the museum's 70-year history. A police investigation is underway. More on this story as it breaks. The Encarn sarcophagus, delivered to the Los Angeles Museum of Natural History this morning, was stolen just hours before experts could examine its contents. Several security guards were killed during the robbery attempt, making this the bloodiest robbery in the museum's 70-year history. A police investigation is underway, murderer. They will find you. The search for an LA sewer worker is beginning to look grim as police and family end their seventh night looking for Luis Salvador after he failed to return home last Friday. Salvador was last seen entering a manhole in Hollywood to carry out a routine inspection. Salvador's family is hopeful that the husband and father of three will return safely and urge anyone who might have seen Salvador to contact the police. A shootout at a popular Chinatown underground club tonight left several dead and wounded after shots were exchanged between a local gang and an unidentified assailant. The club, Glaze, was a known hangout for one of Chinatown's largest street gangs, but was also a popular hangout for local club kids. One witness stated that the lone assailant acted like, quote, something out of an action movie. I couldn't believe one person could do that, end quote. Police suspect a rival gang may be behind tonight's violence. A shootout at a popular Chinatown underground club tonight left several dead and wounded after shots were exchanged between a local gang and you. The club, Glaze, was a known hangout for one of Chinatown's largest street gangs, but was also a popular hangout for local club kids. One witness stated that the exchange was all like, pow pow, ah, take that, oh, you got me, ooh, you wascally wabbit, take that, blam, aye. Professor Anders Johansson, the archaeologist responsible for the discovery of the Encarn sarcophagus, issued a brief statement today, imploring the parties responsible for the Encarn sarcophagus's robbery to return the relic, saying that it is a valuable piece of human history that rightfully belongs to the entire world. Johansson went on to add, this theft is not just from the museum, but from all of mankind. Johansson, a professor of archaeology at the University of Oslo, is in town to speak to his peers about his recent dig in Turkey and coordinate examination of the artifacts found at the Encarn site, including the sarcophagus. The story of the Encarn sarcophagus took an even more bizarre turn when Professor Anders Johansson went missing from his hotel room earlier today. Evidence of a struggle in the professor's room at the Empire Hotel indicate to investigators that Johansson was abducted. Johansson's family has received no demand yet, and there is speculation that his disappearance and the earlier theft of the Encarn sarcophagus are related. Police officials have gone on record as saying it's too early to confirm or deny any possibilities regarding this case. The story of the Encarn sarcophagus took an even more bizarre turn when Professor Anders Johansson went missing from his hotel room earlier today. Evidence of a struggle in the professor's room at the Empire Hotel indicate to investigators that Johansson was abducted. Johansson's family has received no demand yet, and there is speculation that his disappearance and the earlier theft of the Encarn sarcophagus are related. Police officials have gone on record as saying, "Don't worry, that crazy bastard will save him." A terrorist attack in Los Angeles has left several dead and many more wounded. The Venture building was the site of an armed assault and bombing that has many city officials worried that more are likely to follow. Security tapes show several armed men enter the building around midnight. Shortly after this, cameras went dead when a bomb was set off on floor 10. The terrorists responsible were killed in the explosion. No group has taken responsibility for the bombing yet. This is the first time a terrorist attack has taken place in Los Angeles. More on the Venture building attack as it breaks. Fires broke out early this morning throughout Griffith Park in what fire officials are deeming a mass arson. The fires have been raging since around daybreak, and several fire crews from all over California have joined local firefighters to help contain the deadly blaze. The Griffith Park Observatory, a historical Los Angeles landmark featured in such movies as Rebel Without a Cause, was one of the many buildings consumed by the fires. Residents in the hills surrounding the park have already been evacuated, and several other neighborhoods are on alert. Investigators say that the fire was the work of an arsonist or arsonists that started the fires tactically in areas that would maximize the spread and range of the flames. We'll be providing up-to-the-minute coverage as information becomes available. Several dead at a beach house in Santa Monica tonight. Police suspect the slayings were carried out during a drug deal gone bad. Residents of this quiet community were shocked by the killings, though neighbors suspected the men in the house to be involved in drug distribution and had seen many strange people going inside at all hours of the night. Several dead at a beach house in Santa Monica tonight. Police suspect the slayings were carried out during a drug deal gone bad. They suspect this may be the work of vampires and, hey, have you seen any vampires around here? Art criticism or vandalism? Paintings on display at Santa Monica's Gallery Noir were slashed by an intruder who evaded capture by security. The paintings were estimated to be worth nearly $250,000. They were to be auctioned in a charity event tomorrow night. A security guard is dead tonight after an intruder forced their way into Santa Monica's Gallery Noir and slashed paintings on display for a charity event. Police speculate that the guard was killed during the vandal's escape. A robbery gone bad at the Surfside Diner left several dead after the attempts by the would-be robbers were thwarted by a diner patron turned vigilante. Witnesses saw the vigilante run from the diner after they were alerted by the sound of gunfire inside. Police have stated that vigilantism will not be tolerated and that the party responsible will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. A robbery gone bad at the Surfside Diner left several dead after the attempts by the would-be robbers were thwarted by a diner patron turned vigilante. Witnesses saw the vigilante run from the diner after they were alerted by the sound of gunfire inside. Police have stated that vigilantism will not be tolerated and that they know it was you. The Southland slasher struck again, this time in downtown Los Angeles. The body of Sean Milton, a former convict that was recently released for good behavior, was found butchered, similarly to the other victims of the serial killer. Police believe there may be a connection between Milton's prison past and the slasher. We'll have a full report on this story later tonight. Simon Milligan, host of local cable show Haunted LA, and his crew are reported missing tonight. The team of the popular supernatural-themed program were filming around downtown Los Angeles, according to the show's producer. But friends and family of the crew started to worry when they failed to return from a night of shooting. No trace has been found yet of the Haunted LA team, and rumors by the show's fans speculate the crew met a supernatural end, though police disagree and have started a sweep of the areas where the crew was filming. Mistaken identity may have led to a murder outside the Asphole, where an unidentified man drove a wooden stake into an exiting patron outside the popular Hollywood club. The victim bore a resemblance to Ash Rivers, the owner of the Asphole, and investigators are speculating that the assassin meant to kill the popular Hollywood star. Rivers could not be reached for comment. Another victim of the Southland slasher was found inside the Lucky Star Motel in Hollywood this evening, the fifth attributed to the killer. Police say that there is ample evidence that the slasher was interrupted during the murder, and police are asking anyone who might have witnessed the events to aid them in their capture of the killer. A night manager for the Lucky Star Hotel is dead tonight after what police are deeming a botched robbery attempt. Hotel guests stated that they heard the clerk, a one David Hatter, and another man shouting about something right before they heard a scream from Hatter. A few minutes later, a concerned guest came out and found the clerk dead. The Lucky Star is infamous for being the location where popular 70s TV actor Frankie Sammy was found mysteriously bludgeoned to death with a marital aid. Another murder in Hollywood tonight at an adult bookstore. A peep show dancer was killed in the basement of the store, and investigators are still trying to put the pieces together since no one present saw or heard anything. It is unknown at this time what the motives were, but the police are ruling out the Southland slasher as a suspect. A woman is dead tonight after a man burst into an adult bookstore and brutally killed the dancer before fleeing the scene. Police are speculating that the murder could have been a crime of passion or a case of stalking taken to the extreme. A description of the suspect was given to police, and officers are currently searching Hollywood for someone matching the reports. Tourists attempting to pay their respects at actress Ginger Swan's grave at the Hollywood Eternal Cemetery were shocked to discover the grave of the former sex symbol had been vandalized. The star was entombed in the Hollywood Eternal Mausoleum after her death in 1964. Nothing was stolen from the crypt, but estimates put the damage at over $1,000. Prominent Chinese businessman and restaurateur Wang Ho was found dead in his home this afternoon, and investigators suspect foul play. His daughter, Kiki Ho, says she suspects a local gang may have killed her father to retaliate against his efforts to encourage local residents to clean up criminal elements in Chinatown. Local residents say he was a selfless, respected, and honorable man and will be missed. A massive gelatinous creature that washed up on the beaches of Providence, Rhode Island, has scientists scratching their heads. Found by a jogger early on Tuesday morning who says he smelled it a mile away, the mystery creature is thought to be some form of giant octopus, though marine biologists that have examined the monster have commented that they have never seen anything like it in the cephalopod family before. They speculate that it could be from a yet undiscovered family of sea creatures. A tourist bus destined for the ancient city of Angkor Wat that failed to return Wednesday night was found this morning, though without any trace of its operator or passengers. Cambodian officials have dispatched several military units into the area to search through the surrounding jungle, amidst concerns that it is related to one of a number of Southeastern Asian terrorist organizations based in the region. 3 American citizens are among the missing. Concerned parent groups joined several senators on the step of Capitol Hill to protest the latest wave of violent video games. Senator Limperman called the games pornography and was offended by crude shots taken at him by one recent game. Among the titles the group is trying to get banned from stores are Mangelgarten, Rape and Pillage, and Abe Lincoln Teaches Killing. Protesters say that extended media attention towards exploitive games such as Meth Tycoon promotes parental awareness of their adult content and lessens children's interest in the taboo-themed games. Religious tourists have been flocking in droves to the Santa Maria Church in Santiago, Spain, after several pilgrims claim to have seen statues of the Madonna begin crying blood. The site dates back to the period of the Romans and has several reported Weeping Virgin sightings throughout its history. One pilgrim reported that they witnessed blood coming from no less than 6 statues at around sunset, and that the courtyard felt full of sadness. Skeptics have been quick to point out that this phenomena has been debunked, and witnesses are no more credible than those that report UFOs. Freak sandstorm activity is thought to be responsible for the destruction of 2 Navy fighter jets. The jets were returning from a patrol over the Persian Gulf when they disappeared off of radars. A transcript of a final radio exchange between the pilots mentioned wind conditions picking up and skies becoming so thick with sand that the sun was being blocked. Shortly after this exchange, there was a garbled shout by the co-pilot and finally radio silence. Military officials have dispatched several units to the area to search for the crew and the missing aircraft. The names of the pilots are being withheld until their status can be confirmed. Mobs of villagers in New Delhi, India, stoned a policeman to death after mistaking him for the Deer Man, a creature locals say has terrorized them for weeks and is thought to be responsible for the mysterious deaths of several village children. The Deer Man is reported as a 7-foot creature with horns that ambushes villagers at night. New Delhi has also been host to the Monkey Man, the Bear Man, and the Killer UFOs, all of which were later dismissed as mass hysteria. Weeks of protests against the European Union and rioting in several Eastern European countries has led to a bloc of nations dropping out of the EU, causing exchange rates for the euro to plummet. Detractors of the EU and its founding countries are holding rallies aimed to remove its biggest supporters from office, arguing that the EU's inclusion of less politically stable countries will cause extended economic recession. Several members of Congress are protesting the president's refusal to disclose details of meetings his staff had last year with the heads of several energy companies. They say measures agreed upon will increase air pollution and give large tax breaks to energy companies. An official statement issued by the president states that these meetings were meant to assist in the draft of a fairer energy bill that would cultivate enhanced pollutant tolerances and relax energy production risk burdens. Several members of Congress are protesting the president's refusal to disclose details of meetings his staff had last year with the heads of several energy companies. They say measures agreed upon will increase air pollution and give large tax breaks to energy companies. An official statement issued by the president states that he can do whatever he wants. Who do you think put him there? Hey, heard anything? Ha 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 ha! Sorry, this is the only channel you get. Did you hear the one about the tuna and the chef? A tuna walks into a sushi restaurant, says to the chef, "Hey, you killed my father." Chef says to the tuna, "That's my business, fish." Tuna thinks about it, says, "Then I challenge you to a game of chess. If I win, you stop being a chef forever." "And if I win," asks the chef, "you can feed me to your customers," Tuna replies. So the chef and Tuna play chess. Tunas love to play chess, so in a few moves, the chef was checkmated. "Well, looks like I win," says the tuna. Chef nods and plunges his knife into the fish's belly. "But I won," says the tuna, as he feels the knife wiggling into his guts. "So did your father," says the chef. Good night, and have a pleasant evening.